Gervonta Tank Davis said he gonna make it painful. He says Bill Haney will cry. That's what I want to talk about in this video. Ooh, is heating up. Fight World, it's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Wow. Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney have been going back and forth like Aaliyah. In the comment section, Devin Haney obviously won his recent fight, moved up in weight, fought Regis Prograis, who was the WBC champion. He was a two-time champion. Devin Haney made it look easy. Post-fight, Devin Haney him and his dad basically called out Gervonta Davis. And as that has settled in, it's been all over the place ever since. Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis did take place in my backyard, California, Bay Area. So the commission in California, they did do a same-day weight check. So they weighed in on Friday, but they did a same-day check. And the information leaked, the sheet from the California State Athletic Commission, and it shows that Devin Haney gained 25 pounds from Friday to Saturday whenever they did this check. As you see on the screen, it says Devin Haney weighed in at 140, and then he ballooned up to 165. So he gained 25 pounds overnight, which prompted Gervonta Davis to pretty much insinuate that something was fishy with Snack, which is a supplement company headed by Victor Conti, who has, steroid past with Balco. I'm not going to go into that. You guys can look up Balco and, his past, BALCO, on Google. So basically that's what happened. Gervonta Davis is insinuating that he said, get this Snack stuff out of boxing. That's basically what he said. And he feels like Devin Haney working with them is suspect. Devin Haney said that Tank is a PUSSY. He's a ussy, and they've been going back ever since. Gervonta Davis seen that comment and responded with this. Tank says, I promise you, your father gonna cry for what I'ma do to you. And that's on my dead homie. Your best bet is to enjoy it while you can. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss a thing. I promise you, your father gonna cry for what I'm gonna do to you. That's on dead homie. Your best bet is to enjoy it while you can. Devin Haney said, let's make it happen. I'm free. Gervonta Davis says, say nothing, ... So it's clearly heating up between the two fighters. They don't really like each other. They both have something to prove, and they both saying it with their chest. Devin Haney, he says, he's name calling Tank a ussy. Gervonta Davis say, I promise on dead homies, I'm going to make your father feel this pain, and he's going to cry after what I do to you. So that's definitely a intense warning. For me, I told you my stance, and it hasn't changed since yesterday. See, the thing is, I'm not one of the content creators that is going to speak in circles and, just do a bunch of clickbait and say video 1, say this, video 2, say this, video 3, say this, video 4, say this. That's not even who I am as a person. What I said in video 1 is how I feel in video 2, was how I feel in video 3, 10, 20. It's always going to remain the same, you know what I mean? Unless something, come change my mind. Come change my mind. That's how I feel. So call me stubborn or whatever, but at the end of the day, I still feel the same way about this fight. I have doubts that this fight happens. I mean, how many fights have we seen play out before Twitter and back and forth and all this type of stuff? Shakur Stevenson called Frank Martin a beezy. Frank Martin said, get that bag right, all this type of stuff, but then they don't end up fighting. After reports that said Shakur and Frank Martin were going to fight, or Shakur and Devin, and, Shakur is talking about signing the contract and sending bottle service to Dev, all these things. But to this day, we still haven't had a fight. So that's just one of the things we have to deal with in modern boxing. And for me, I don't hold my breath. So as great of a fight as it would be, Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, definitely a big fight for boxing. But I truly feel Gervonta Davis versus anybody is a big fight. And like I've said before, he's definitely the A side over anybody around those weight classes. So that hasn't changed. You could listen to me, somebody who's been in the game, makes coin in this game, been that way, or you could listen to whoever, the haters and the naysayers, and say, oh, Tank. Like I've seen people say, oh, Tank's stock dropped. How did his stock drop? He just had a career high payday in his very last fight, and he did $1 million plus. No other person from 130 to 147 that's an active fighter can say they've had a pay-per-view that did $1 million plus, right? Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis can, and Tank was the head of that promotion, and it was on his preferred or lead network, which was Showtime, right? So at the end of the day, people talk. The haters gonna talk, say whatever they want. Facts are facts. You can't get around that. You could try to circumvent it. You could try to rewrite history, but I deal with facts. And Gervonta Davis, he's selling out bi-coastal, putting butts in seats in cities that aren't even his own, like Atlanta. He's done great crowds and live gates in Atlanta, right? LA, and so on and so forth. So I'll be interested to see how negotiations play out, if they even get to negotiations. But in my honest opinion, I truly think Devin Haney will either fight Sandor Martin at 140, which is his mandatory, right? The WBC is likely to order that, or maybe dabble in 147 if he could get a fight with the right person. I don't think it'll be someone like Boots. I think, in my opinion, that would be far too dangerous for Devin Haney to just have gotten to 140 and then immediately move up and then fight against a Jaron Ennis. To me, that doesn't make sense, but to each his own. I'm liable to be wrong, but I'm also liable to be real right. Nevertheless, Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney is a fight that boxing needs to see. Both guys are talking spicy. Both guys have that itch. Both guys are saying, and see, that's the other thing. There's a lot of people who are picking sides and playing one side as if one side is the only side that wants it, or one guy is scared. It's really, let's just be real, is Gervonta Davis is the side that people are saying is scared. You know, so he's just been boxing his whole life. He's already sparred with him just to be scared of an opponent. I mean, if that's what you guys believe, then, you know, good on you. But at the end of the day, Gervonta Davis, he's been a fighter. He's been fighting his whole life. Check out some of my other content. YouTube will show you some videos that I've done that you'll definitely be interested in. So make sure you guys check those on the channel.
They was talking 5%, and they might think free means free. You know what I mean? So let's clear that up.
But I mean, I know Eddie's got a fight to match.
I didn't say Eddie, I said Tank.
Right. No, I know, but in terms of like being free for, you know, how networks
like,
get in the way.
Man, y'all gonna let the man get away with that shit?
No.
Listen, ain't no fight. We don't got no fight. So what's gonna happen? Tank.
At 140.
Yeah. Stop me from saying his name. Punch me in the mouth, because I'm gonna keep on saying Tank. Don't want to fight Devin. Period.
Bill, this evening, Shakur.
That's that old bullshit ass business model that you're gonna charge the fans for some bullshit fights, and then you the face of boxing because you just keep shoving it down their throat, man. The Mayweather era, that's over with, man. It's the Devin Haney era. That Mayweather shit is over with, man. You hear me? Over with. Floyd ain't never did what Devin did at 25. Tank ain't did it. Nobody else ain't did it. Listen, y'all just scared to say it, but I'm not. I believe in my son. I've watched him do it. You know what I mean? Against 7 different world championship fights at 25. You know what I'm saying? So, what else? Don't down and crown me, and then you're gonna say that Terrence Crawford, because he beat Earl Spence, and then say Earl Spence was weight depleted. He wasn't himself. So how can you have a pound for pound player, a fighter of the year performance against a fighter that ain't his best? Lomachenko was his best, and Regis Prograis was his best. You know what I'm saying? They were at their best, and Devin still beat them.
What makes Team Haney take so many risks?
Because the fighters are good, but Devin is special. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's always gonna look like that. You know what I mean? It's the right adjustments that Devin makes, right? You heard FM, he talked about making them adjustments on